Hi everyone, welcome back to the I'll Try That podcast. I'm Matthew Barber. Joining me this week are Christopher Simmons, who will say hello when he stops laughing.
Sup, how's it hanging?
And Richard Drabwell. How are we, Richard?
I'm good.
You sound content. That's good.
I am. I had a nap on the sofa earlier. It was really nice.
Oh, that's where you went. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now I'm with you. Yeah, okay. I'm actually just buzzing because I've got Ash's tickets. So
Bam. He's going to the Gabba this coming week. I realise we've broken the fourth wall of when we actually record these and when they go out, but that's okay. I actually meant to do this when Joe was recording with us, but if I don't do it now, I'm just going to forget. Drabers, call back to a previous episode. The two of you were thinking extensively about the greatest name for a beer-themed pudding.
Yeah.
And I think Biramasu had really struck a chord with yourselves.
The best name ever.
All I could think of that I would add on to that would be apple brewdle.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
Apple brewdle, and then I feel I'm being a little bit obvious, but creme brulee.
Yeah, they're both good, but nothing beats beer.
Really,
nothing beats beer. Nothing beats beer.
It's
and
not blowing
Masu.
your skirt up as much as that one.
No, like it was. They were both good. I can't. If I'd have heard them without hearing beer and Masu
You might have
first,
been impressed.
I would have been like, you know what, they're nice, but beer and Masu.
It's on a whole other level.
So basically, what I've heard is, Barbs, what a waste of time that was.
Yeah. It's only been about a month. Been thinking about that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, to business. As I said,
It's like I've been waiting for years to tell this joke, and you just ruined it.
it's tattooed on the inside of my hand, so I didn't forget. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us. Once again, we're going on a bit of an odyssey. Today, our destination is China, and our Pursuit of Hoppiness, we will be tasting Lucky Budha. However, in our true I'll Try That podcast format, we will tackle a hot topic first. Hot topic. I just completely forgot the whole hook. Completely forgot the whole hook.
The whole pun of it, mate.
No.
Well, before we move on to that, I'm just going to build a bit of tension about before that. I've got a great anecdote about the only time I've ever visited China, so I will fill you in all about that. It's pretty exciting.
Once was a man from China. Well, we won't do that. But okay, well, Drabers, you sound like you're on a roll though. I think you can tell us a story. Can you?
Yes,
and a hot topic eventually.
And a hot topic eventually. So we're going back to BrewDog because BrewDog are in the news
Who
again.
are they again? Exactly. I don't know. Have we covered them before?
I think actually, mate. Do you know what? That's our pioneering original episode. So
Yeah, it is. It was our first ever
I
one.
hear they're pretty big in the craft brewing world.
yeah, I heard they're a big deal. Big deal.
Well, they've been making headlines again for their CO2 campaign, which I don't know if you've seen it. They put up some new billboards that the Advertising Standards Authority were not happy with.
What was the billboard?
They went up. They went up to 5 locations, big billboards right across in really popular places, and it said "FU CO2." I won't say the full swear word.
But it was
it said the full-on swear word in it.
The full-on swear word "you CO2."
Nice.
Okay.
Right.
Which is bold. It's bold if I'm going to throw it out there.
Yeah. I thought I saw a picture of this, but does the U and the C of that word were covered by a can, right? Or was that just?
A can. Yeah.
It was like it was being blurred out, or something.
So
Yeah.
So did they? So the agency had an issue with the what? Is it the?
Well, I'm assuming the swear word. But what it was,
Yeah.
they had.
They
hated C.
They actually
Yeah.
don't believe in climate change,
Yeah.
so they just think it was a load of garbage.
Yeah. Can you guess how many complaints they got for them to launch an investigation into it?
Isn't it something weird? Like you actually only need one complaint before they have a look at
Okay,
it.
I'm going to say 10. I'm going to say 10 complaint.
I've gone the Drabers.
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how many complaints it is. But Barbara, how many have you got? So we got 10.
I think it's something weird. Like it's like you only need to get one complaint before they have a look at it.
Okay. Well, after receiving 25 complaints.
Okay.
The Advertising Standards Authority launched an investigation to determine whether the text "FU" was offensive and inappropriate for display in a medium where it could be seen by children.
That's a pretty short investigation, isn't it?
Probably didn't take very long. They're like, that's not great, is it?
So, in their assessment, this is a statement they put out. In their assessment, Watchdog concluded that the ad was likely to cause serious and widespread offence and was not appropriate to display in untargeted media. The ad must not appear again in the form complained of use. I can't pronounce the word. Sustainably target. But can you guess what BrewDog replied to this?
I am dreadfully sorry.
They would have to put out a statement.
So I reckon their statement was, "I'm dreadfully sorry. We do wish that we were so much more politically correct with our statement, and we retract everything we said."
Well, if that's what you're going for, Simon, I'm going to say the opposite, and I think they stood by what they said and went, "No, this is go on, hit us."
So BrewDog responded to the Advertising Standards Authority. So they said back, go F themselves.
Oh.
Jesus.
But they didn't say F, they said the full word.
Oh, okay.
With nothing blank.
Well, they literally said, go F yourselves, we're going to do it. Like, that's wrong, basically.
Yeah, they go, can go F themselves.
So they basically
is that because they said, obviously because they're trying to pioneer against climate change and stuff like that? And
I think it's and also they very clearly believe there's no such thing as bad publicity.
What I really enjoyed was it was in a statement responding to the ruling, BrewDog co-founder James Watt said, "Today the Advertising Standards Agency banned our activism advert. They can go F themselves. We're facing an existential climate crisis, and I would like to thank Metro and The Economist for understanding the importance of the climate campaign and running the ad."
I can almost believe this.
I love that.
I almost can't believe this has happened.
No, I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Like we need to take control of of it. So yeah, why not?
Honesty.
Why not? Everyone's heard that word before.
The thing is though, for me, right, it wasn't like a load of naked women, like as in, you know, like it's not like obtrusive to your eyes. It's just words, right? So it's like I understand that the word FU is offensive, right? But they didn't actually say, right, we're going to literally spell it out. They did mute it out in the first instance.
Well,
right?
Simo, you should have a conversation with the 25 people who were not so happy.
The thing is, though, I can also understand why people would be upset about it. Because, to be honest, we don't need vulgar language, and there is other ways to express your annoyance and your irritation at the issue. So I do understand that, yes, what they're doing there is a massive political point, right? But there is other ways, and you could have used a different word, you could have said a different slogan, you didn't have to use a swear word.
But it got their point across.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate and side with the complainers. I actually think that, and you know what, BrewDog, maybe they'll say I'm completely wrong. I think they're just doing it for attention.
Nice. It's true.
They just go, we said this thing, and
but they are very activist. They're very activist.
Yeah, and I think they have done stuff, but also that's the old phrase about actions speak louder than words, don't they? So
They do.
Why you got to shout about it? Just do it.
Well, they are carbon neutral, and they do pioneer the way of the idea that they want to impact the environment as little as possible.
Yeah. So what do they need? But then to that end, what do they need a billboard for?
Or to divert from all the other negative attention they've got recently.
It's wheels within wheels, isn't it, Drabers? I know exactly what's going on.
All right.
There you go. Versatile story. Good topic.
So basically, we should probably move on now to someone who's a bit more lucky. With Lucky Budha beer.
Are there any Buddhists listening tonight?
I mean, there might be.
Welcome. If you are. I
don't know. Drabber, I'm not going to lie. I feel like you're probably the most Buddhist out of all of us.
Yeah, you are, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool.
Just because you like to sit under trees for extended periods.
I do enjoy a good tree sit.
So, guys, do you know where the beer of which we are now in the Pursuit of Hoppiness, the Lucky Budha beer, where it was first brewed and bottled.
Was
Which
it
lake? Actually, I'll even give you
lake?
this. Which lake in China was it first brewed in?
I don't. I,
Well, my lake knowledge is vast. And
oof, where to start? Yeah.
I know, yeah. Are we talking about my favourite lake? Like, there's many variations.
Hang on.
Like,
Drabber, what's your favourite lake?
what's my favourite lake? Lake Michigan.
Okay, why?
It's pretty cold. Freezes over for periods of time.
Okay, fair enough.
Again,
I generally don't know if Michigan has a lake, so we'll.
there's definitely a Lake Michigan. Although again,
Yeah.
we've developed quite a portfolio of other podcasts, and Drabers' Lake Chat is I'm going to tune into that.
Late night
Late
lake
night
chat.
lakes. Yeah, no idea, Simo. Where was it?
So I'm going to say this wrong. So it's Qiandao, Qiandao Lake in China.
I see. Which, of course, we'll all remember from her.
Yeah. So basically, it's actually a relatively new beer, guys. So July 2010.
It's a relatively new lake.
no, sorry, not the lake. So the beer itself is only from 2010. So it's actually relatively new.
Okay.
Now, it basically says it's an Asian style lager, right? Earthy malt, citrus features, notes supposedly of lemon, grapefruit, wheat, honey that makes it crisp. Now there's a lot of things going on.
Well, let's
there,
pull straight
right?
in on taste. I actually get a honey thing. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there for real, big time.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's got a little sweetness.
I can't get any honey.
Little sweetness.
I
to
can't
it.
get. I would say I get the
grapefruit. A
I
grapefruit,
get
I
the
would disagree
citrus.
with.
Yeah, I get the citrusy pull through.
I get the citrus and the lemon. The citrus and the lemon. I get the citrus and the honey. To be fair, I do actually, but I don't see grapefruit.
Yeah,
That's my personal view.
You know, that's just someone's just throwing that out there, haven't they?
I would say it is crisp, right?
Crisp.
Crispy.
Joe likes a crisp.
Crispier
beers.
than some crisp. He does love crisp.
Joe
beers.
Druitt loves a crispy taste. He would have loved this beer. Unfortunately, he bought 24 VBs instead. But so thing that I would like to say is, who knows about anything else about Budha beer?
Do you know what? I came into this one not having a clue, other than I think I had a Lucky Budha at Wagamama's a while ago.
Yeah, the only time I've ever drunk Lucky Budha was at Wagamama's, which I'm a big fan of Wagamama's. It's a great restaurant, and it does go well with food.
It does, right? That's perfect. Now, so the one thing I have to say, and I think everyone's noticed it, and if you haven't noticed it, you're a bit weird. The bottle itself is spectacular. Okay?
One of a kind.
It is one of a kind, and it is one of the most unique things that I've ever bought. And to be fair, it literally made me buy it. So when I was in the shop, I saw it, and I was like, holy moly, pudding pie, that's a fantastic drink right there, because it had a Buddha holding up the the neck
Golden
of the beer.
coin.
Yeah. Now, what's really interesting is it depicts, and this is from their website, it depicts a laughing Buddha, right? Now, this is a cultural design, and it's incorporated from Buddhist, Taoist, and Shinto traditions. Now, what they've made very clear that it's not the Buddha, but they want it to be the fact that it is really important about the way they are. Now, if you look at the bottom of the glass, it contains 4 good luck symbols on it. Now, this is even better. There's 4 good luck symbols on it. Now, the 4 good luck symbols are fortune, happiness, longevity, and prosperity. Now, I was like crazy. I was like, no, it doesn't. And it generally does have 4 symbols on the top. Does it the same for you, boys?
Yeah. You have to get right down to the bottom, but they're in there.
I've never noticed that.
I think though, if you have it, I think it might be
sipped on
upside
them.
down. So actually, you almost have to drink the beer with the Buddha facing away from you, unless someone's going to tell me otherwise.
Barbs, you could just lift it above your head.
Yeah, Well, no, I'm looking down the. I think you're laughing at me. Like it's almost like a microscope, isn't it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks better when you look down the bottle. I'm with you,
I'm not
Bars.
that mad.
No, I'm with
sorry,
you.
I'm
Like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
You're in the wrong, Simo, actually.
Yeah, always. Now, what's really interesting is they actually created a whole Buddha theme of you could get a gold Buddha version of this bottle.
That's cool.
Right, okay.
Yeah. As in, and it would be like the luckiest Buddha sort of thing, and it was a lighter beer.
It's very distinctive in the green bottle though, as well, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so cool! So cool. Now, does anybody know the catchphrase or like the theme of the beer?
I think it's. I've pulled this out from somewhere, but enlightening the senses.
Smashed it.
Buddhism
Do
is
you wanna
about
tell us more?
enlightenment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about the Buddhist who went to the hot dog stand?
No.
He said to
No.
the vendor, "Make me one with everything." Joke of the episode. There we go. So yeah, I mean we're peddling the very much their company lines here, but it's created to put a smile on your face. Actually, I might get that.
Does it?
Make that.
Does it though?
I think a little bit, yeah, because it's a smart Buddha, isn't it? And it's pretty tasty. It's that it's beer ultimately, so all beer puts a smile on my face. But it's maybe those little good luck messages are getting me as well. But they're going quite highbrow with the way they describe it. They're saying that it transcends all religions, cultural boundaries, and beliefs, which.
Okay, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, they might be sort of pushing the boat out a little bit there. What's?
No, that's me showing stuff. I'll show you in a second. No, keep going, Babs.
And there are say is in its simplest form, we stand for goodwill for all humanity. So yeah, I mean, you said about Shintoism and that sort of thing. I think they are really drawing on that, but that's also turning into commercial success, I understand. So in 2015, Lucky Budha beer was one of the fastest growing import beer brands in the US.
Things that you can completely understand it because let's be honest, I've never seen a bottle like this. Like it sounds really lame, and I'm going to say this right now. So in Australia, they're very sporadic when they bring it in, and when I first bought like a set of these, so I bought a pack of 6. My partner was like, "Can you keep 2 of them?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" She was like, "Well, I want to put a candle in it. It's freaking cool." And so we've kept some because,
it could work for a candle,
like, they are generally like cool looking things that you can have because they're so unique. Like, and also when you get it, like when you grab it, you're like, "I'm grabbing a Buddha," like because it's so visceral the way that the bottle is dynamically a Buddha holding up the neck of the beer.
This is by far the coolest bottle of beer I've ever drunk out of.
Yeah.
Like we get, all these new craft ales and breweries have these fantastic stickers that go, or they have these fantastic cans with these amazing artists and everything like that going on to them. But this bottle just beats them all because it's simple that it's just a bottle. They've got nothing else going on with it, but the design. And that's what's blown out from it. I think it's fantastic. I think, like, if you've never heard of Lucky Budha before, Google it and just take a look at the bottle. And then the easiest way probably to get it is to go to Wagamama's and have a Lucky Budha at Wagamama's. Would be the simplest way to do it. And you get a delicious Pan-Asian style meal.
Okay, so that's a question for everybody now. Because I want to talk about the advertising campaigns because I've never seen these before, and I'm showing them to the boys now. But before we do that, I want to ask you, boys, do you actually like the taste? Like, what's your genuine view on it?
I do.
So, Barbs, let's go.
Yeah, I think it's nice. For me, it tastes really, really similarly. It tastes just like another beer that I can't think of what it is. But also, you have a look at. I think they push some of their own. What's that word? Descriptors about being earthy and malty, and it's that in spades.
I would.
And I think that makes it for quite a good partner for food, which actually, as we've just said, where we get it from, that makes a lot of sense.
Wagamama's, yeah.
I would call it unoffensive. it goes well. It's not overpowering in any way, and that's why it goes well with food, because Asian food is very full of flavour, full of spices, full of pizzazz and everything like that. So you don't want something that's going to be overpowering when you drink it. You don't want something that's going to add something it doesn't need.
I think it's in quite stark contrast to what's very popular these days with those things with quite a stark hop profile. For me, the hops are taking a back seat here, aren't they? And I think that pretty much plays into exactly what you're saying, Rich.
But yeah, like I'm a fan, and every time I go out and I can get a Lucky Budha, I probably will.
But so like Drabber, what I'll ask you now, right? So like for me, it's not like as in I don't feel like it's a massively unique flavour, right? But I feel like it's easy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
But as in so I'm going to show you boys. I think you can see it on your screen. And sorry for the listeners, you're not going to see this. Fantastic stuff. If you follow us on YouTube, you will. But basically, they kind of take the mick out of themselves with their advertising. I think what they have is so good. So, for instance, have you seen the third?
What's coming out next?
The Dragon Emperor, which is the Mummy movie. Right?
No, I've got to say, after the Mummy 2, I stopped watching.
Okay, so one thing I would have to say is the third one is fantastic. You have to see it, and it's about the Terracotta Army, which is
about
basically
a horde of interior designers.
yeah, of course, yeah. So basically, it's a Terracotta Army, and what I love here is great taste discovered. It only took 5,000 years, and it's a Terracotta Army soldier holding the beer. You've then got like the Great Beer of China, and it's instead of the Great Wall of China, you've got all the beers lined
Lucky
up.
Budha bottles, like that.
Yeah, and and for instance, they have one that do you know Buddhists are very famous for like quotes and like interesting things that you say. This one is, "He who live in a glass house should not play bongos naked." Like it's just
okay, yeah.
It's just very playful, but they also play on other cultures, so they're very aware that they have to sell to other people.
He who goes through an airport turnstile sideways is going only to Bangkok. That's the other one. I hear. That wasn't the. I don't think that was the Dalai Lama, was it? No.
No.
Somehow I don't think that was. But I just think it's a new company. They obviously haven't got a lot of heritage and history, so they're but they're fun.
Yeah, I mean, actually, although that said, I said that one as a bit of a joke, but as they've put this out there, surely. But they're saying an ancient Taoist saying of, if you think that enlightenment is separate from the drinking of beer, you have not yet understood.
No, but isn't that for a quote from a genuine person?
I thought it was just. They've said it's an old Taoist saying, but
it is good. It's a good saying.
They just have a very. I mean, you might say it's a bit woolly, but they just have a very nice, genuine air of happiness around them, and everyone having a good time, and nicely relaxed. So what's not to like about that?
Story. So I've only ever been to China once, and it was on a layover for when I was flying back from Vietnam. So I did from Vietnam.
How do you mean by layover?
So I was flying from Vietnam to China, and then from China back to England, and so I had an 18-hour stop in China, and I had a 24-hour visa, and I was like, wow, I've got 18 hours. I'm going to go and just go to Guangzhou, I believe where it was. I got given a hotel from my flight and everything like that. And so I'm going to go there. I've got a load of yen. I'm just going to go and eat loads of fantastic food and just have a bit of an explore and an adventure and all this sort of stuff. So get loaded onto this bus, and I was absolutely knackered from my flight and stuff. So I kind of just fall asleep on this bus, miss all the driving through. We get taken to this fantastic hotel, kind of bustled into this hotel, shown where my room is. And I was like, right, so I get in, dump my bags. I was like, right, let's go and get some food. So I wander out. unbeknownst to me, I'm in the middle of an industrial state in the middle of Guangzhou. Not a clue where I am or anything like that. And I'm looking around going, there's got to be some food somewhere. And the only food I could get was McDonald's, which was really genuinely upsetting because I was super excited to try all this fantastic cuisine. So instead, so then I went back to the hotel and they were like, oh no, well, you're about an hour away from anything that's remotely interesting inside this industrial estate. So my experience of China was sitting in my hotel room eating a Big Mac whilst watching an Adam Sandler movie marathon.
Oh my gosh.
It really is depressing.
That is incredible. That is so hilarious.
It was upsetting to say the least.
I'm amazed you could watch anything you wanted. But anyway, yeah. So is that because you had to wait for another flight, right? Is that
Yes, I had to wait for my next flight to leave. Also, I almost wasn't allowed to leave China because they didn't believe my passport photo was me.
Is that because you had a massive beard on your, or you had no beard? What was it?
No, that was when I had long blonde hair, and at this point I had short hair and a massive beard.
Hang on.
So it was a real adventure.
You had your photo for your passport was when you dyed your hair blonde.
No, I didn't dye my hair blonde. The sun dyed my hair blonde.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's what
and so they didn't believe your photo.
No, not at all. Hey ho.
But Barbs, do you have some numbers for us?
Yeah, I do. Interestingly,
It's good. Otherwise we wouldn't be sticking to the script of the I'll Try That podcast.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I feel like this whole episode is off script.
It's a little bit, yeah.
Guys, when Drew isn't here, we are so off script.
It's like the cat's away. Let's just focus. Let's get through the numbers because otherwise the whole fabric of the podcast just disintegrates.
It's like watching the new Spider-Man film. Anyway.
That's probably a reference for people who have seen the new Spider-Man film. And certainly I'm not.
It's so basically, it's called the multiverse.
Don't. Yeah, we've not seen it yet, Simo.
Well, Simo thought that was a prompt to talk more about it.
Yeah.
It's called the multiverse. Anyway.
Shush, Simo. It's fine.
Speaking of the multiverse, or rather the metaverse, Lucky Budha Beer on Instagram, 15.1 thousand followers. And I can scarcely believe it, but Lucky Budha Beer Twitter, how many do you think?
14?
20.
8.
What, as in 8 total, or 8,000?
8.
Oh.
I think this does appear to be them. If you look for Lucky Budha, you find... they're at Lucky Budha Life, so that may be the lifestyle branch of Lucky Budha. But I can't... I've looked quite diligently for another one. But there is a page keeping 8 people in the know about the latest Lucky Budha developments on Twitter. So, diminutive presence on Twitter. But, hey, what a nice beer and what a nice vibe.
And that's all we have time for this week's episode of the I'll Try That podcast. And so from me, Joe, Rich,
Barber, and Simo,
goodbye. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram,
Twitter,
I'll try that podcast.com.
and watch us on YouTube.
Goodbye now.